Hey guys, welcome to Historic Militaria. Today we are looking at a German Model 39 egg grenade, which was the, and I know I'm going to butcher this name, it was the Eierhandgranate 39, and it was a piece of standard German military equipment from 1939 to 1945. Saw really extensive use, obviously, all through World War II. Wherever Germans fought, you would find these. They were a lot handier to use than potato mashers, and so a lot of troops liked them. They were definitely a offensive grenade because they are really lightly constructed. They don't really have a lot of fragmentation that's going to be carrying a long time. The filling was similar to Amatol, and that's sort of like a TNT filling with ammonium nitrate. And you're looking at anywhere from a 1 to 10 second delay on these, and actually some of them could be booby-trapped to have absolutely no delay. So the second you actuated it, it would go off. And allegedly they were used especially on the Eastern Front. What you would do is leave one of the instant detonation grenades in a conspicuous location when you retreated, in the hopes that a soldier would look at it, an enemy soldier would look at it and say, oh, that's great, a grenade, we'll use that. And as soon as you went to use it, it would explode and kill him instead of you. So, I'm really not sure of how often those were deployed. I don't have, obviously, records on that, but I've heard it was a fairly common practice, especially on the Eastern Front. These did lend themselves to being part of booby traps, and so they could be hung from different places, like inside of a door jamb when the enemy was clearing a room or something like that to go off. You'd use your 1 second delay or instant delay. The caps were actually color coded, so you'd have red would be your 1 second delay, blue would be your 4.5, which would be your standard delay for infantry use in the field. You'd have yellow would be a 7 second delay, and that would be if you were making this as part of a bundle charge, where you'd wrap this along with a whole bunch of potato mashers in one really big detonation, usually against fixed emplacements or armor or something like that. And they also had a gray, which had a 10 second delay, and I'm not really sure what that would be used for. I couldn't really find any information on that. But this is just a nice original example of one that is not a battlefield pickup. And again, like everything else that we handle here, this one is fully inert. We're not dealing with a live grenade. So it's a pretty simple design. This is your detonator mechanism. So we'll just take this out of the grenade body. And as you can see, it's just a standard detonator down into the body, which will detonate everything. And the grenade body itself is very, very thin, very flimsy, really relying on blast only, like most offensive grenades. So if you really want to throw down a lot of firepower, you're going to have to throw quite a few of these to get a lot of blast effect. But a nice, handy grenade, fits in the hand nicely, throws nicely. Very popular with German soldiers, certainly. And you could carry more of these than your standard potato masher. Also, the original ones did not have this carrying ring on them. This was added in about 1942 and just made it easier to attach to your equipment and whatnot. So this would be this particular version is post-1942. Now, the detonator was pretty interesting, and these detonators could actually be used later on in the war on versions of the potato masher. But to actually use the grenade, what you would do is, here's your cap, and if I can do this one-handed, which I definitely probably cannot, I'm going to just put the camera here and actually do this. So you unscrew this like this, and you unscrew that, and as you can see, there is a wire held in there, and your string And all this comes out, and we'll just leave it like that for now. So you take your cap and you give this a good pull, and this wire would be bent obviously a lot more, and it would be in small holes here, and it was kind of a match compound in there, and so your friction of your wire against the match compound would make a spark, and that would travel down the body, and in 4.5 seconds on a standard grenade you would have one kaboom. Now this one obviously has all of its internals in terms of the fuse. It's got the original string, it's got the wire, it's got the mechanism that actually holds all this into place. And then you can actually take a look inside this as well. So we'll put your camera down again. And these wing nuts actually unscrew. And that just gives you an idea of the detonating mechanism, a little bit more in depth of what you're looking at. And your detonator here, obviously empty. And what this would be your delay train right here. And then obviously your friction igniter. So I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at a German M39 egg grenade. This is a nice example, and we'll be looking at other World War I and World War II grenades and ordnance in upcoming videos. If you like what you are seeing, like, subscribe, comment, let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to see. We may have it floating around. Thanks for watching.